Hi, thank you for watching this video. It's instructional video for making kombucha. If you don't know what kombucha is, it is actually a variety of fermented and lightly effervescent sweetened black or green teas. You can also use other kind of teas as well. It's made by using this SCOBY, which is actually an acronym for symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast. It actually is known to be originated in what is now Manchuria around 220 BCE, and it's said to have been imported to Japan around 400 CE by the physician Kombu. In the late 1990s, commercially bottled kombucha became available in North American retail stores. So the first step you want to do for making kombucha is get yourself a quality SCOBY. There's places online, you can find them on Amazon, and they'll ship them to you, or if you know someone that already makes kombucha, they may be able to give you a SCOBY for you to start your own. You want to have glass jars, wooden spoon, or you can also use stainless steel. You want to make sure that you actually have your glass jars sanitized. You can probably use what we use in winemaking as well for sanitizing the glass, which is a no rinse sanitizer. If you go to a wine shop, you can find that stuff there. Or you can also use a distilled white vinegar to rinse the jar out to sanitize it. You want to fill your jar up, just not quite to the line there, so because you're going to take the SCOBY plus 1 cup of your already fermented kombucha. The reason for that is this added to that will lower the pH, so that way any other bacteria has a harder time growing in your new batch of kombucha. It lowers the pH. Then you want to take part of that water and put it in a pan along with a cup of sugar, so you can make sweet tea, and let it boil to dilute the sugar. And no, you're not going to watch pot boil. I'll speed this up. Okay, now that the water has come to a boil, you can turn it off and then add 4 tea bags. I'm going to be using green tea. You can use black tea. You can also use pretty much any tea that you want other than medicinal teas. They do not recommend you using because of the antibacterial properties it has. There's actually a website that I have found that has good information on the kind of teas that you can use and what kinds you cannot use. It's called kombuchahome.com. I'll have a link in the description below. There's also a Facebook group that you could also join that I'm a member of. It's called Kombucha Life. If you go on Facebook, you can search Kombucha Life and click join. They'll have some people on there that can give useful information. If you have any problems, they can give tips. And when you make this tea, you want to brew it pretty strong. And you don't want to use caffeine-free tea because the SCOBY actually will feed on the caffeine and actually will reduce the amount of caffeine that's in the tea. So if you want caffeine-free kombucha, you don't have to worry about getting caffeine-free tea and making it that way. The SCOBY will automatically do that for you. It may not remove 100% of the caffeine, but it'll greatly reduce the amount. Okay, now that your tea is done brewing, then you want to take out the tea bags and dump the brewed tea into your pitcher of water. If you use cool water, you won't have to worry about waiting as long for the tea to cool down to a room temperature. Because if you put it in there while it's hot, it can kill the SCOBY. So you want to make sure that it's cooled down to room temperature. And since I put cool enough water in there, it's already about at room temperature. And then you want to take a SCOBY. This is what the SCOBY is. It's on top. I know it does not look very appealing but it does add probiotics to the kombucha, and you want to add about a cup of your other batch into there, so that way it will lower the pH. And just after you get that out of there, then you give that a stir to distribute the yeast and the bacteria that's still in that brew. And then for your new brew, you cover it with a breathable cloth, because as it ferments, it will build up pressure. And then you want to keep this in a location that doesn't get too hot, doesn't get too cold, and it's out of sunlight. The cooler of an area you have it in, the longer it'll take for your kombucha to brew. The warmer it is, the faster it'll brew. So keep that in mind if you want it to brew a little faster. Put it in a little warmer location. You don't want too hot though. About normal time for it to brew is about 7 to 10 days. You can let it brew up to 30 days if you wish. The longer you let it brew, the more sour it will get. If you like a sweeter kombucha, you know, you can stop it at 7 days, so that way as much sugars have not broken down, and you'll have a sweeter kombucha. And you can also flavor your kombucha with fruits. You can flavor it with, like if you want a ginger kombucha, you can add some fresh ginger to it. I've seen you can add like rosemary to it. Depends on, you know, what flavors you want to go for. You can also use kombucha to cook with, use it as a marinade. Like I've said on that website of kombuchahome.com, it does have a lot of good information, good recipes, has equipment lists that you can use, has really excellent tips. I'm not a sponsor of them, it's just a site that I have found that I like. Now that we've got the SCOBY out of here, we can go ahead and pour your kombucha into your bottles. You don't want to fill your bottles up too full. You want to stop them, you know, a little bit below. That way, because when you open it up, it does get effervescent. Depending on what fruits or flavoring you add, it will become even more effervescent. Like if you add pineapple to it, that can become very effervescent and possibly cause the top to want to explode off of there. So it's a good idea to burp your bottles at least every 24 hours. More if you see it's building up too much pressure. But after you pour these full and add your flavoring that you want, you let it sit on the counter or wherever you're brewing it for another about 2 days, and that's considered a second ferment because you will still have active yeast and active bacteria in your kombucha. People will also refer to it as booch, B-O-O-C-H. So if you ever hear someone use that term, that's what they're talking about. And like on the group on Facebook called Kombucha Life, they call use shorthand for the SCOBY as CB. And I don't run that Facebook group. I'm just a member of it. So I get no benefits for mentioning websites or Facebook group. I'm just offering tips of where you can find other information. If you look for information about kombucha online, WebMD actually will recommend anyone with a low immune system to not drink kombucha because there hasn't been enough studies about kombucha. But if you look at it, you know, there's a lot of stuff that they say that are good for you that really aren't, and vice versa. I've heard stories of people that have low immunity that drink this, and it actually will improve their health. It just all depends on the person. You do want to, if you've never had it, drink it with caution. In case you have any negative reactions to it. Just like there's people out there that are allergic to mushrooms. You know, you don't want to introduce something new that you're not used to. So use caution. And when you first start doing it, you don't want to drink a whole lot of it to begin with. So that way your body can kind of get used to the ingestion of the probiotic. There's a lot of stuff out there nowadays that have probiotics in it. There's your yogurt has probiotic if you like yogurt. There's probiotic pills that you can take that are over the counter. So probiotics is a big movement of, you know, for health and digestion and everything. And you want to add whatever fruits you like, whatever flavors you want. You can add as much or as little fruit as it's just up to you how much flavor you want in it. Good rule of thumb that I was taught is about the size of 5 blueberries cut up in half, so that way it can fit into the bottles. Right now I've got, you know, some cherries, I got some mango, strawberries, pineapple, and some mandarin oranges. The mandarin oranges and the pineapples will probably cause your kombucha to be more effervescent, just because of the citric acids in it will kind of add more to it. I've noticed it the last time I did mango, it was more effervescent than anything else. But you can add whatever flavors you want. And you can also add your fruits to the bottles beforehand as well. If you do use ginger, make sure that you peel the ginger first and cut it up small enough to fit into your bottles. And these are about, you know, the standard bottle that you want to get. These are available from Amazon. I've seen on the kombuchahome.com where they actually have a link to where you can buy these. I believe it is somewhere in the neighborhood of $32 for 12. Comes with the bottles and the caps. The caps are not pre-attached. They're not that hard to attach. And I've actually worked with someone that's never heard of kombucha, never tried it. I took him a mango flavored kombucha, and he was appeared to be, you know, surprised at how good it was. And he was gonna have his friends taste it as well. What I typically do is I'll burp these, release the pressure on these. You just close them up like this and put that flap down, and to burp it gently, just undo it and tilt that back. It'll want to push that cap back anyway as it releases the pressure, so you want to make sure that your face is nowhere close to it in direct line, in case it does want to explode, because of how much pressure is in the bottle. I have had one flavor of kombucha. It was a strawberry peach that actually had so much pressure, and I think the sugars from the fruit made the rubber stick to the glass. and so it let out a really loud sound. Sounded like an explosion. So be careful when opening them. Sometimes that rubber will stick. You can use frozen fruit, or you can use fresh fruit. Fresh fruit will probably be a better choice if you can have your own homegrown fruits. It'll be even better because it'll be the freshest you can get, and you'll know where that fruit came from. If you don't want to flavor it, you can also just drink unflavored kombucha as well. It'll just be, you know, the flavor of whatever tea you used. Like this one was green tea. And over the 2 days that you have these on the counter for the second ferment, whatever color the fruit is that you use, your kombucha will actually take on that color. Okay, it's been about 24 hours since I've added the fruit. I'm going to show you real quick, you know, burping the bottles. You can see the fruit in there. It's kind of settled at the bottom. When I burp it, the fruit will actually rise to the top. And I'll let you listen to the sound as it gets burped, so you can hear how much pressure is actually in it. This one is the pineapple, so I'm going to guess that it will actually have quite a bit of pressure already in it. No, I was actually surprised that one did not, but as you can see, pineapple did rise to the top. Now we're going to do the mandarin orange. See how much pressure is built up in that one. Well, not very much. But as the days go on the second day there will be even more pressure built up in them. But after the second day you'll want to put them in the fridge. Okay, it's day 2 of after adding the fruit. We'll see how fermented and fizzy these are now. Release the pressure on them before we put them in the fridge. You can see it has a lot more fizz today. This one was the mango. I'm showing you different fruits so you know what to expect with each one. And after I burp all of them, I'll be putting them in the fridge so they get cold so they can be drank. And then we just start the process all over again. That's all there is to it. Thank you for watching. Please give a thumbs up, and if you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to click subscribe above. More videos will be coming with either making kombucha or other things. I'll be trying different recipes of kombucha. I'll be trying ginger at some point. And there will be other instructional videos as well. So give a big thumbs up and click subscribe. Thanks for watching.